Self-Development with Tactics podcast. It is a bit dark in here. It's definitely a tiny bit dark in here. Now it is better. Today I'm actually really willing to go through another book summary or something book related. Why is there so much dirt? I don't get it. I don't yet know what it is gonna be, but it's hopefully gonna be something rather amazing. So, let's have a look at some book summary site. Maybe it's gonna be the power moves. Yes, they have a new website apparently. I'm also gonna show you that. Where is it? There it is. Should be fine. It is definitely a bit too big. It is okay like that. They apparently are having a new website. Courses start here. I do think that it's the same guy, right? Where are the book summaries? Where are the book summaries? Let's see. Maybe they're not even there anymore. I don't even know. There they are. So is it? Can you actually get to this page somehow without just knowing about it? It would actually be smart to incorporate that, because I don't know. I don't really know or think that everyone knows that it is there. So yeah, I do hope that everything is fine with the microphone. I have a slight feeling that something is off. It's a bit too. Hello? It's a bit silent, I think. Hello? Yeah, it should be fine, should be good to go. Maybe it is now way too loud. Small talk hacks. Let's go through categories. Power theory, social skills, body language reviews, entrepreneurship, dating, blah, learning tools, persuasion, psychology, red pill, self-development, self-empowerment. Maybe. There's even another newsletter by Andrew Huberman. Foundational fitness protocol. Well, I don't think so. I would like to go through something health related, I think. Maybe psychology. Just, mental health type of shit. Power dynamics. Disease. The disease to please. Blind sight. Lies at the intersection between psychology, marketing, and neuroscience, and looks at how brands seek to hijack our brains and mental biases to yada, yada, yada. Wealth, spiritual, critical thinking. Maybe it's also going to be self-development. Tools of Titans. I think we have gone through this book multiple times, and up to this point, enough times. Imperfection, the gift of imperfection. Influence and persuasion, leadership, workplace power. Amazing. Persuasion, power strategies, career strategies, manipulation, social science, which is, by the way, also really interesting. Self-empowerment. What is self-empowerment? Law of optimum balance. Ten most dangerous BS to avoid. How to become Machiavellian. I actually am interested in the law of optimum balance, because I think and believe, and it's actually a really long one, I really believe in balance. I really believe in the, let's call it the power of balance. Too much of everything is bad, and too less of quite everything, I guess, can. Well, no. I mean, too less smoking, so not smoking at all, probably is a very good idea, especially when you are a smoker. Still, I think having balance is very crucial. Work life, work, rest, work, whatever the fuck. The law of optimum balance states that many traits are beneficial at certain levels but turn bad, ineffective, or harmful at extreme levels of total lack or oversupply. Many positive traits that people aspire to and work towards follow the law of balance, and so do also many traits generally associated with bad morals or negative outcomes. The pervasiveness and ubiquitousness of optimum balances make the optimum balance a fundamental concept of self-development and life optimization. In this article, we will learn about the law of optimum balance, and I'm excited to learn. The intro. Let's start with a definition. The law of balance states that a given trait is only good, effective, or beneficial at certain levels, but turns bad, ineffective, and harmful at extreme levels of either total lack or oversupply. Of course, that optimum balance is not a set and immutable constant that remains the same no matter whom, what, and when. As we often repeat on this website, that is what is optimal changes depending on the individual, the goal, and the situation or the context. For brevity, and simplicity, we will focus on a general concept and we won't always repeat the importance of context on every single item and example on this list. In any event, despite the variables of context-related optimization, what changes is the level where we find the optimum balance, not the general principle. The law of balance indeed still applies within each specific context. Yeah, and so on and so forth. So the components of optimum balance: optimum interval, the range within which the returns are maximized. The optimum balance more than a single point is most often best thought of and conceptualized as a range. That range of maximum benefit is the optimum interval. The optimal interval? Well, user interval, you can think of it as the range outside of the optimum balance, but it's still enough for satisfactory outcomes or even to achieve challenging goals, especially if you make up for with optimum balances in other traits. Which I think, could also be the case that, one could balance, maybe, for example, maybe bad example, but working really a lot and, for certain periods of time, which is, definitely, maybe not smart in this set of time, so in this interval maybe, but then following it with a lot of rest kind of, really, turns down the negative sides of this, workload, of this extreme amount of work that you've had prior to resting an extreme amount maybe. So definitely also something to think about, something to keep in mind. Threshold level, the level at which a trait reaches its maximum returns and then starts decreasing, self-defeating imbalances, the levels at both extremes of the continuum, self-defeating extreme and self-defeating lax, diminishing returns points. Later on, we shall see that many traits or possessions reach a point where any additional unit of improvement takes lots of work but yield little added benefit. 80-20 rule. 20% of the actions make up for 80% of the results, which means that it really does make sense to only do those 20% because 80% of the results, 80% of what you're getting probably is enough. And the other 80% of your energy you can put into something else. Maybe even something like adding more 20% for 80% results in other fields of your life, whether it is your relationship, whether it is uni and different subjects, and so on and so forth. And some properties, low and high threshold, when the maximum returns happen at low/high level of intensity. High level or intensity of a certain property or trait, and the tail, fat tail, when the property or trait maintains good returns, and the extremes, lean tail and the negative tail, dark trait. I mean, I don't really know if all of the theory is so important. Well, let's actually, go ahead with the dark. I think it's not trait, but triad or triad. On this website, we claim, and we may even say we show with plenty of evidence and real life examples, that even if you want to be good, you need to be bad. I do not necessarily believe in that. I think this might just come with being human. Hence, one should possess certain traits, skills, and know-how that many negatively associate with being bad, being selfish, or even being antisocial. Some of these traits are part of the cluster of personalities, sometimes referred to as dark triad. Machiavellism, Machiavellianism, even, may be the most relevant dark triad personality for life success. Well, some of the benefits include superior strategizing, maximizing returns, as well as effective self-defense against life's many fraudsters, cheats, and charlatans. It seems pretty logical that too little Machiavellism or whatever and cynicism leads to naivety, and that naivety is not conducive to self-flourishing. I don't think that it is binary, that I really don't think it's binary. That just because I'm not Machiavellism and I'm having some selfish traits or dark triads or triad traits means that I'm not gonna flourish. I also do believe that categorizing everything sometimes can be not very useful. Is this level of selfishness really bad or part of the dark triad? I don't know. I think it really depends on the context. Once again, it really depends on things. I mean, when I'm saying no, I don't want to do X, Y, and Z because I'm having enough to do, well, it is what it is, right? So this is not being bad. It's just being truthful to myself, maybe. But yeah, let's actually have a look at this wonderful what is a diagram? Yeah, I think more or less it is a diagram. I do believe, and for whatever reason, I'm just really enjoying this diagram right now. I think that diagrams in general can be extremely useful, because this one is probably summarizing quite a lot of the text. So we're having optimum balance for Machiavellism or Machiavellianism, whatever. On the very left-hand side of the diagram for all the podcast listeners, we're having a 0 and a vertical line or vertical axis, which means life optimization, or which stands for life optimization. And on the horizontal axis, we're having Machiavellism or whatever. The intervals are from 25 intervals, or 25 per interval. So we're having 0, 25, 50, 75, and 100. And apparently the best threshold is between 50 and 75. Between 0 and 25, we are being naive, and between 75 and 100, we are cynic or gloomy. And there is a virtue line or graph or whatever, and it peaks at, I would say, 60, 65, something in between 50 and 75. Yeah, so apparently around 60% being, I think it is percent, yeah, I would say it is percent, 60% Machiavellianism is apparently a good idea, or whatever. I don't know if there's some data kind of underlining that, but I do appreciate the efforts of, actually creating a graph that, shows how, quote unquote bad one should be. And I think, I don't know, I would actually say that 50% is quite good, which means that you're taking a lot of care about other people, probably. Of course, it depends on definitions, it depends on context, it depends on so many things, whether it is 50%, 75%, probably also culture and society. But I would say 50% is quite good, since, I'm taking care of my things and, my beliefs and what I need in life. But I'm also giving something to other people. So I'm also taking care of other people's needs. It's just, always a 50-50 thing. It is quite very balanced. But I do also understand the 60%, because I don't know, like being taken advantage of 50% of the time maybe might not be that good of a thing, instead of 40%. But yeah, narcissism. Is there also a graph for narcissism, or is it the only one? The optimum balance for open-mindedness is apparently also 60, or between 30 and 75. Maybe there is a pattern that, too much of everything, which I guess is the point of it all, too much of everything is bad in terms of open-mindedness. Apparently you're then stupidly open-minded or naive, not just, realizing maybe certain things. And on the very left-hand side, we're having stupidly narrow-minded, maybe too conservative, one could say. And in the middle, I think we are having... But, well, I would actually agree that being a bit more open-minded than closed-minded, or just, narrow-minded, is probably a really good idea. I would actually go to the 75% even, at this point we are once again having it at, I would actually say around 60 quite. Yeah, 55, something like this, apparently. Let's go through narcissism, and then I think that I'm going to end the episode there. Some people associate narcissism with a pathetic mix of bragging and touchiness, and sometimes that is the case. However, narcissism is also more complex, and some narcissistic elements are crucial, maybe even necessary to achieve success in some fields. For example, fields where personal branding is crucial. Narcissism is probably also helpful to attain personal success in most fields. On the other hand, extreme lack of any narcissistic trait may be bad no matter what you want to achieve in life. Clinical psychologist Dr. Craig Malkin wrote, Rethinking Narcissism is one of the authors. I think it might be a book. Rethinking Narcissism is one of the authors of The Dangerous Case of Donald Trump, albeit, I think it is actually albeit, the latter is controversial for political reasons. Malkin makes good points. He says narcissism in moderate doses is good and healthy, and he would place that healthy interval between 4 and 6 on a 1 to 10 scale. Yeah, I don't know. Malkin says that people within that range are more optimistic, happier, and more consistently confident than people on the lower end of the scale. Even if the perception is slightly unrealistically positive, says Malkin, it is enough to bring benefits, but not so crazy unrealistic that it heavily distorts reality. Even when it comes to life effectiveness, executives in the optimum balance are rated as far more effective than those who are either not narcissistic enough or too narcissistic, as you would expect from any trait that follows the law of balance. Malkin also says that narcissism is counterproductive and unhealthy at either end of the scale. Yeah. I mean, once again, I think that, for most things it is like really a 5. When he says it is between 4 and 6, just, having balance, whatever the definition of narcissism actually is, because narcissism, personality disorder, is a mental health condition in which people have an unreasonably high sense of their own importance. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I would actually go to the to the lower end of the spectrum there. I don't know. Of course, I'm realizing, some importance of oneself might be actually really crucial in terms of, okay, I even though I'm heavily depressed, for example, I'm not gonna kill myself because I know that I am important for some people. Having this complete lack of reality then might lead to also neglecting other things in life. But yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna end the episode there. I wish you the best and hopefully see you soon.